Okay, I don't know. Let's see if that changed anything. Otherwise, I'll just keep giving the message. So it is important for parents of these souls to start to understand what is happening, who they are, why they are different, why their experience is different throughout the world, and throughout their life experience. Thank you. It seems like Instagram can hear me and Facebook can't. Oh, that worked. Yay! Amazing. I did press some magic buttons. So, okay, get myself back on track. There are 5 high vibrational collectives, like I just said. The Blue Diamond Souls are the ones that I have permission to speak for, and there are 4 others who are in my field who I'm allowed to speak for in private sessions, but not yet speak for publicly. These 5 high vibrational collectives are working together, and we actually need all of the 5 to be coming through because they each hold a key to what is happening right now for us in the collective in humanity. We are going through a massive shift. I think most of you already know that and understand that there is a massive shift that is happening. And so we need to start to understand why this shift is happening and what it is that we can do to support. Some of the things that we can do to support is start to see this next generation for who they really are. Don't be looking at them as just children, be looking at them actually as coming in as the teachers, coming in as the generation that are here to make rapid shift and rapid change as they shift us as humanity out of 3D and into a 5D reality. And hopefully we will continue to shift further. But as humanity, we've been stuck. We've kind of been refusing to move, to be honest. And so we need these high vibrational collectives to come in. That is why they are here. They have seen that us as humanity was basically ready to destroy ourselves. And in the destroying of ourselves, we would have massively impacted the other collectives that are out in different galaxies and different planets in different dimensions right now. Our demise would have impacted them. So they have all come here in order to support us to make this shift and this change. They are here in full service to us, and they are here to support us in a massive, massive shift and a massive mission. So what we need to do is to be able to support them in return in supporting us. The ways we can support them is to watch our own energy, is to shift the frequency that we are sitting in, the frequency that we are speaking in, the frequency that we are in when we are around these high vibrational collectives, because it's uncomfortable for them to be with a lot of us. If you think about, if you were from 12th to 27th dimension, it's not even a place that we can imagine, right? I think we're sitting here and kind of trying to get to 5th, struggling to get there. 12th to 27th is a whole other experience. So imagine for a moment that that is where your reality was with 12th to 27th dimension. Some of the things that happen there is there's no need for the full physical body like we have. It is more of an energy body. They don't need to communicate with words. They communicate with their energy bodies, and everything is instant, basically instant manifestation. Because once you've gotten to that level, once you've gotten to that frequency, we can call an instant manifestation for a multitude of reasons. One being that we're not holding on all the blocks and the reasons why we think that we can't do that. But secondly, being that our own vibrational frequency is high enough that we can be self-responsible for our own thoughts and our feelings and what we instantly call in. Whereas where we currently are, we are not able to be in that instant manifestation space, because could you imagine all the things that humans are thinking and feeling if that was appearing into our sphere, into our reality all the time? It would be pretty horrendous, let's be honest. So they're coming from that experience, and then they're needing to come down here into a body, this funny, weird bag of flesh thing that we all walk around in, and it's uncomfortable. It's incredibly uncomfortable for them to be here in this body. So we need to do everything we can to support their own frequency, them raising their own vibrational frequency at their physical body, which is being aware of the food that we feed them, which is being aware of the food that we eat if we are around these children, which is being aware of the words that we are using when we are around them, and being really highly self-responsible. It's super interesting. I don't usually talk about Healy in this way, but for some reason I'm being asked to show it to you. This is the entire reason why I have a Healy, basically, is because of this next generation that are coming through, because they need us to be responsible for our frequency, but they also need us to hold a high vibrational frequency to be able to support them and to support their own body in this time of them needing to be in such a weird, different dimensional experience. So we need to be responsible all the time in order to keep them healthy and to keep ourselves healthy, and supporting them fully in listening and understanding, trying to understand. We can't always understand, but being willing to be open and listen to what they have to say. And when they share what is their life experience currently, when they are bringing through messages for us that maybe are uncomfortable, that we don't want to hear, when they are seeing things, drawing things, giving us messages, hearing things, rather than shutting them down, which is what many of us would have experienced when we were children. If you're sensitive and have been open, which definitely was my experience, we can't shut them down. We have to open and listen and do everything we can for them to be able to achieve what it is they're here for. So if they say, I'm here to create mass change and mass movement in the world, and I'm going to be on the world stage, and this is the reason that I am here, then our job as guardians, which guardians to me is parents of these souls, but it's also all of us as adults, right? Guardians of these souls as they come through, is to do everything in our power, everything we possibly can, to ensure that their life will lead to the thing that they are telling us is their purpose. And it might feel really uncomfortable sometimes. It might mean us as adults have to do more inner work, have to get ourselves out of the way more, have to be willing to see that these children hold more wisdom than what we do. And that's not always comfortable as an adult, to be able to turn around and say, actually, this child knows more about life than what I know as a whatever year adult that has been living here, because this child sees it from a different way. These high vibrational collectives see it from a different way. They have been watching us, experiencing us, witnessing us for a long, long, long time. So they also just see the collective and the greater field of what we're doing in a different way than how we in our limited minds have been able to see so far. So my tea's gone cold. Does anyone else really, really love nice glassware and nice cups? I'm obsessed by nice glassware and nice cups. So where else do I want to take this to? Like I say, you're welcome to ask questions, make comments, do any of that. Otherwise, I will just keep on transmitting the message that wants to come through. And, every week there'll be something else here. Like I said, you can join my Telegram channel if you want to get it fully unblocked. Don't say the C word. Right. So what else do they wanted me to bring through right at this moment? So we have been seeing the shift that is happening throughout the world these last 2 years. We have been seeing this shift as something happening to us, not for us. We have been seeing this as something that is bad, right? And we are watching the shift that is happening in the world as bad. And some people have known right from the start that this isn't bad, but many people have been like, oh my God, this is terrible. Life is changing. It's not the way I thought that it was going to be. My life is over. This is, the worst thing that could happen to the whole world. The world is going to fall apart. I've heard so many different things. The world is going to fall apart. The aliens are coming. There's going to be, massive world takeovers. Like, I'm hearing so many interesting things throughout this as people are tapping into different energies. This is not the end of the world, as you're starting to figure out now. Like, we're 2 years into this shift and change. We're okay. Some people, unfortunately, were not, but the majority of us are okay. So we need to start to see this differently. We as a collective need to start to see that what is happening is we are going through a dimensional shift, and that this is happening for us, not to us. This is steering us away from where we were headed, which was our own eventual demise. Let's just wipe out all of humanity and give up on this whole thing. That's what we were basically trying to do in our shutting down. Now we're being asked to do the opposite. We're being asked to actually start living. Stop being disconnected from everything in life. Stop being shut down. Stop hiding from our own greatness. Stop hiding from our own soul gifts. Stop sticking our head into all the different ways that we are able to disconnect from the world. And we are being asked, in fact, told, demanded, that we wake up and that we fully own who we are. we fully own what our soul's purpose is here on earth and stop hiding from it like children, which I'm sorry, I know that sounds brutal, but that is what we have been doing for so long now, is like hiding and pretending, oh, I'm not great. Oh my God, who am I? I'm not great. I'm just small. I'm so stressed. I'm so busy. We've been in an illness. We have been in an illness of playing small and of getting shut down. And it's time that that illness needs to break and needs to change. And it's time that we start to look at ourselves and see our own greatness, number one, and also start to see the greatness of others, so that as this next generation are coming in, we can also see their greatness. Because if we can't see our own, we are not going to allow ourselves to see this next generation as being the magnitude of what they are. Realize that. So you need to start to see the greatness of who you are and start to own that once and for all, instead of, yes, this sounds brutal, but instead of being a child and playing small, we've all done it. I'm speaking to myself as well. I did that for many years. I knew from when I was very young what I was here for. And I from very young could see energy, feel energy, knew it, knew that I was magic, knew that I could make changes. And then I shut it down for a long time, like 20 years, right? And decided to just play small, which, in their words, stop being a child and wake up and own who you are. Own the fact that you are magic, own the fact that you are greatness, and own the fact that, yes, you have been in some limitations, but now it is time that those limitations need to leave. Because as this next generation are coming through, we have to allow ourselves to see their greatness. Which, if I can't see my own, how can I see somebody else's? If the next generation start coming through saying things like, I am God or I am greatness, we are going to think that they are nuts unless we can start to see, but so am I. I am God, I am greatness, as are you, as are each and every one of us. When they start to talk about we are all one, and for us as humanity, we don't like it when people try and tell us that we are all one. Just turned 11:11 here. We don't like that, right? But if we allow ourselves to connect into our soul, then we start to connect into the greater world soul. Then we know and remember that, yes, in fact, we are all one. We are all God consciousness, the great soul moving through each of us, experiencing itself so that we can evolve together. But if I'm too busy playing small and being a child and pretending that I am not greatness, I am closing down my own gifts, which therefore impacts everybody. So we're now at a point in time where it's not just for fun for you to decide that you are greatness and for you to connect into everything that you are and to connect into your magic. It's not just because, oh, that would be nice and that would feel really good in my life. And, oh, maybe if I did that, I'd be happier or whatever. Now we need to start to see, yeah, but if I don't do that and if I don't step up, I'm impacting the collective. And we all think, oh, just me, like I've got nothing to play in that. Who am I? I'm just me. I can't make a difference in the world. Actually, you are every single day making a massive difference in this world by either choosing to show up as you and choosing to let the greatness of you move through you, or by choosing to keep hiding. That is massively impacting the collective all the time, because however you are showing up in any given moment is impacting the children, the next generation, who are feeling us all the time, but it's also impacting the people who are around you in your immediate family and your immediate household. It's keeping them small. It's keeping your friends small. It's keeping your community small. If you're a person who sees clients, it's keeping your clients small if you are not willing to show up. This is the piece that we can begin to do with this Birthing a New Earth, is wake up every day and make the decision that I am committed today to being 100% myself. I am committed today to showing up and allowing my soul to move through me. And I'm going to do my absolute very best of what I can possibly do on this day. And then I'm going to do the same thing again tomorrow, because maybe the way that I showed up Today was kind of okay and allowed soul to move through me sometimes, and then other times, oh no, I shut down. Okay, cool. Well, at least I tried, and I'm going to try again tomorrow, and I'm going to make the decision again the next day, and the decision again the next day. And I'm going to commit that every single day for the rest of my life that I am going to wake up and commit to trying to allow soul to move through me, that I'm going to wake up and commit to being the best me that I can possibly be, because I know that that is impacting not only me, but that is impacting not only the people around me, but it is massively impacting the collective, and it is intensely impacting the next generation. Because otherwise we hand the next generation a piece of shit, which kind of really is what we have done. It's like, if you look at this on a greater soul level, it's kind of what we've done. Hey, like, sorry, we kind of messed this up a bit. Sorry about that. Could you just come in and clean it up for us? It's kind of what's happening. And that's why you see some of this next generation being really upset at us. That's why you see girls like Greta Thunberg who are like, what on earth are you all doing? And they're really upset. And I don't blame them. I would be upset too. So these are some of the things that we can begin to do ourselves as we start to call in this next generation. Which for some reason, I can see that question about, is there a way to recognize the blue diamond souls? I'll answer that next. Which reminds me, I'm intrigued and interested. So those people who are tuning in now or who are watching this as the replay, I am considering running a series of online events specifically to call in this next generation. And I have done this before. I just got covered in goosebumps. I have done this once before. I want to burst into tears. I have done this once before in a mystery school that I was living in, and I ran, the collective of us, I asked for it, and the collective of us ran it, an evening that was around conscious conception and calling in this next generation. And I've done this a lot of times, and I've done it in small sizes, and I've had a couple of souls come in. I've had up to 16 souls come in. And when I've done it, when I did this in greater mass, because that's what they need, is more than one person calling in, they need a collective, I thought maybe we'd get hundreds, maybe hundreds of these souls would come in, and that would be like really, really amazing. I was not expecting that we would get hundreds of thousands come in. As I opened the portal, there was more souls than I could even contemplate seeing. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. Is this just me seeing this? And someone else in the same space came up to me and said, oh my gosh, did you see that? As the portal was opened, there were just like tens of thousands of stars came into the room that we were in. And I'm like, yeah, that was all of these souls that just came through. I am contemplating doing some of these as an online experience so that we as a collective can begin to really call in this next generation that are here to support us. And so that might look like you coming into the space and calling in a soul specifically to birth through you, or it might look like you just being really interested and inspired to support the next generation in any way you possibly can. So that is kind of dancing around in my awareness at the moment. If that is something that would inspire you, please comment and let me know. Like, yes, that is something that I would like. That's something that I want, so that I can begin to tune in and feel, is this something that the greater collective would like? I know it's of great service, but do others know it is of great service, and do they want to be there? Because the more people we get there, the greater impact we have, the more of these high vibrational collectives we call in, the more begin to be birthed, the more that we shift the world that we're living in, and everything gets to change faster, right? And we get to move out of this space that we're in faster. The more souls that come, it's compounding the shift and the change that is happening for us, and how quickly we're able to move through the discomfort of the evolutionary stage that we are all in together right now. If you want to know more about that story of me calling in the souls and opening the portal for these souls, it's in the front actually of my book, The Blue Diamond Souls Calling in the Next Generation. And I'm going to again do what I did last week, which is I'm going to give that book away. So I will share a link into the comments that will give you a PDF version of that book for free, and access to my Birthing a New Earth online TV series for free as well. So I will jump onto all the places straight after this live and put in all of those links if that's something that interests you. That story was mind-blowing. Maybe one day on one of these lives I'll share it live, but it's hard to share because I'll burst into tears. So thank you. I can see a couple of people saying that they would love that. Is there a way to recognize the blue diamond souls? Yes. Ooh, amazing. Great. Thank you, Danielle. You would love it. Amazing. Okay. I'm feeling it coming. I'm excited. So, yes, there are ways to recognize blue diamond souls. Just feeling into the best way to express this. For me, one of the ways that I know that a blue diamond soul is coming through a woman is I can see a blue diamond up above her head, and I know that she's currently going to have a blue diamond soul. That has been one of the ways that I have been able to recognize. But like I said, there are now a number of different high vibrational collectives communicating with me. Some of the ways that we can begin to tell, depending on how old they are, you can almost ask them. You can ask them questions like, hey, where did you come from? Rather than say, are you a blue diamond soul? You could say, where do you come from? I have a number of clients whose children speak about the blue people that they talk to all the time, who see blue diamonds, or who talk about the blue people or where they came from. When I came from here, before I was born here on earth, and they'll talk about their experiences in that way. That is a surefire sign that they are a star child. So they're one of the high vibrational collectives they're a star seed. Some of the other ways though that we can tell, which are kind of, I guess, easier to tell, is they are often very, very, very sensitive to light, to sound, to energy, and to different people, meeting different people, or being in different spaces. They might need to have things a certain way. They might need to have their room arranged a certain way or certain music played. And a lot of people might not even figure that out. So they might just wonder why their children are so erratic, emotional, kind of all over the place. In the past may have been labeled with terms such as ADD or ADHD. I'm not saying that that's not a thing. It is, but also there are a number of children who are labeled with that, who that is actually not their truth, that if they were supported more in their nervous system, that would change. If they had things like calm lighting in their rooms, calm music played in their rooms, weighted blankets to be able to use. If they were able to speak honestly and openly about the things that they see, they feel, that they know, then they would very often come forward and talk about the people that they're seeing, or the communications that they're having, or where they were before they came here to Earth. They'll often talk about that if they feel safe and they are encouraged to do so, that they will. Their languaging, when they're very, very first born, they often just look wide awake. It's kind of a little bit like, whoa, okay, that's trippy. Wide awake, these big eyes, and they're really there. They often will refuse our normal, old, outdated education system and will need a different way of being educated and of being supported in their growth. Just tuning in and feeling what else they want me to share. They're basically saying, oh, my battery's going to run flat. I'll try and wrap this up quickly because my battery's going to die on Instagram. They basically are saying, if we talk to their soul and ask them, they will give us the answer. And so the way that we try to look for who they are is through our normal lens of human behavior. But if we allow ourselves to really start to raise to their level, connect to our soul and communicate with their soul, they will give us the answers of who they are and where they're from, and if they are from the high vibrational collectives. So, and if you ask a child and you don't get the answer, if you ask their soul and you don't get the answer, doesn't mean they're not. It could just mean that you're currently unable to hear it. Yeah, which is a lot of what I do one-on-one with clients, is this channeling these messages direct from the soul of their current or future children. Okay, so I'm going to see a comment here. My son has been diagnosed as having sensory processing disorder, highly sensitive to a lot of things. He often talks of the stars too. So I would say that he is either a Blue Diamond Soul or from one of the other high vibrational collectives, and therefore obviously just misunderstood by us and very much misunderstood by our medical fields, because they don't know, they don't have terminology, they don't have words for it. Sometimes being on the spectrum is another one. And just being super, super sensitive to life. And it's okay. It's not that there's anything wrong with them. It's that there's something wrong with the way that we are able to communicate and the way that we are able to be around them. And we are trying to mold them into being something that works for us, instead of us shifting and learning and growing from what it is that they personally need. So yeah, I would say, sorry, for some reason it's not coming up with your name. It just says Facebook user. So I feel really rude not using your name. That's the only reason that I'm not. I apologize for that. But I would say that your son is highly likely one of the high vibrational collectives, especially if he often talks to the stars. So I would encourage that. I would encourage, like, what things does he have to say? What is he seeing? What does he want to share with you? And ask him experiences of his sensitivity. What does it feel like? What does that feel like for you? And how does it feel for you that we don't understand? Or just have conversations. And it doesn't matter how old the children are. We think that children are have a different way of being able to communicate. They completely understand us. We can talk to them exactly the same as they are an adult. It's us who tries to talk to them in any different ways, right? Because we don't allow ourselves to see that these children are profoundly more with it than what we are. How do you suggest one narrows in on the soul work they're here to do? Great question, especially considering I'm running a program at the moment called Soul Fire. And that is exactly what we're doing in that program. We had a call this morning. We're up to week 2. If anyone wants to come and join Soul Fire, you can still absolutely join that. It doesn't matter that we're up to week 2. You'll just watch the replays and keep coming with us. So, some of the things that I can give you straight up on here around narrowing in on your soul is shut out the noise and really start to ask, who are you? Ask yourself, who are you? Not the who am I? I'm a sister, I'm a mother, I'm a brother, I'm a whatever, this is what I do, not what you do. Not who you are to other people, but who really are you? And I would be journaling on that and asking myself that, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And start to go deeper and deeper and deeper. We gave an exercise of this in Soul Fire, and it's amazing to see what comes through for people. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And really start to find out the truth of who you are, because that will start to bring in your soul instead of all the facades and all of the masks that we currently put forward. And I would be asking myself every day, I can't remember if I've already shared this in here, but I definitely shared it in my Soul Fire, which was a journal prompt that I use every single day, which was, if I was living fully soul aligned with no limitations, what would I be doing today? And I ask myself that question every single day on repeat, or something similar to that question every single day, so that I'm starting to create communication with my own soul. I'm starting to allow my soul to know, hey, I want to hear you. I'm here in service of my soul. There is space for you to be able to speak through me. And if it's possible to do that at the same time every day, I would do it at the same time every day, because your soul begins to know, okay, this is important enough that they're going to carve out a section of time every single day for me to be able to communicate. And the more we communicate, the more our soul starts to come home. The more our soul starts to come home, then we just live soul aligned. And we won't live any other way other than soul aligned. Once you start to find it and connect in, you won't live any other way. And it doesn't matter what needs to change in your life. It doesn't matter what needs to leave in your life. It doesn't matter what different choices you need to make. It doesn't matter any of that, because you start to align to something so much greater that is all that you will do. It's if that's not soul aligned, I'm not doing it. If these people are not soul aligned, I'm not spending time with them. If this job is not soul aligned, I'm leaving it. We begin to live that way. And I'm not saying that happens overnight, but we need to start to connect into who that is. Who the hell are you? Who is your soul? So that would be the most simple thing that I can kind of give as an online thing. Like I say, my program Soulfire is 8 weeks specifically around that, specifically around how do we connect into soul and start to give it a voice and bring it through. You're welcome to like message me or private message me to ask me more about that. But as far as like kind of on a Facebook Live, hopefully that gives you something to start to work with. Amazing. Well, thank you for sticking through it with me. I know for a lot of Facebook people, there was no sound for ages. So I'll get my team to edit that. Thank you so much for sticking around to get to the point where there was sound. And everyone on Instagram, thank you as well for joining in. Like I say, I'll be on here again next Thursday every single week. I'm going to put a link to my Telegram chat thread if you want to make sure that you never miss it. I share it in my Telegram chat thread. I will put that in the comments within the next kind of 20 minutes or so across all the different platforms. And I will also put a link for you to be able to access a PDF copy of my book and also the Birthing a New Earth online TV series. I will put that link in again. I'm feeling inspired to offer it again this week. So I'll put that in there if you want to be able to listen to more, find out more. And otherwise, I hope to see you on here next week and just continue the conversation. I'm going to bring in a mother of some high vibrational children next week and probably the week after as well, and just start to have some different level conversations. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, from wherever you are in the world. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. I love your comments and I love your questions. Keep them coming and see you next time.